I'll start this video with a parable. So we have this guy who is a tenant. He hires a house on a plot of land. There are multiple small houses on that plot of land. The tenant dies, due to a heart disease. Very tragic. But the tenant still had 4 months of rent he had to pay. So now another tenant moves in, and this family has to pay 1,300 euros rent a month. So after 2 months, the wife tells the husband, "Dear, I want you to look for an attorney because something doesn't add up here. I hear that our neighbors only pay 650 euros a month. Why do we have to pay 1,300 euros? So the husband went to an attorney with it, and the attorney found out that this case doesn't add up. So the attorney called the landlord, and the attorney asked, "Sir, is it true that Mr. Johnson needs to pay 1,300 a month and he pays 2,600 by now for the 2 months he lived there? And he had to pay a sum of 500 euros to get the house. Is that true?" And the landlord said yes. So that means that you have 3,100 euros of income because of him, right? The landlord says yes. Then the attorney said, "Then listen, for the next 4 months, you're not going to charge him any rent anymore. First of all, you committed fraud. That's a crime. You can go to jail for it. Secondly, you lied to the taxation office because you've signed there that he pays only 650 euros a month. Well, that's not true. That's another offense. So the extra money he paid, which are 2 months' rent, including the deposit of 500 euros, I want you to allow him to live 4 months rent-free to make up, so that they can make up for the expenses they made. If you don't, I'll report you." So the attorney now used pressure on the landlord, and the landlord didn't charge them for the next 4 months. Now, some would say this was blackmail, but look at it the other way. If that husband would not have gone to that attorney, and if that attorney would not have placed pressure on the landlord would have keep charged them 1,300 euros a month. So now that action was taken against him and evidence was gathered against him, he knows, I need to watch out. Now, that was the parable. What is it that I'm going to talk about in this video? Evil spirits are like that unjust landlord. Evil spirits are parasites. We know that. I've explained that so often on this channel. And all evil spirits are thugs. You know that word thug, that they ascribe to people from the streets that are doing evil, causing riots and all of that. That's how evil spirits all are. All of them are thugs. They're sodomites and they're thugs, okay? Evil spirits need to drain you for them to be operative. So they need human energy to feed off. So, as a landlord, they demand a tax from you in human energy. That's why evil spirits, through their human agents, shape society in such a way that people live a stressful existence. Why? Because it's through that stress, that anxiety people are in, that evil spirits can harvest human energy. That's the tax evil spirits demand from human beings. They really can't demand it because they shouldn't even be here in the earth realm, but they do it anyway. And they trick you into handing over your life source onto them. But you're not aware that your life source goes to them. That's why you keep complying. In order to prevent you from seeing through the deception, evil spirits tend to make things harder on you. Right when a demonic contract is about to expire, because look at it this way. If you have a contract to rent an apartment or a house or a farm, that contract is only valid for a period of time. Maybe it's a contract of 1 year or 5 years or 10 years. But when the contract's expiration date gets near, two things can happen. You can allow the contract to close, and then the agreement is gone, it's over, or you can renew the contract, another additional 1, 5, or 10 years. Or maybe you don't renew it for the same length of time, but you renew it for maybe an extra year. That's what you can do when the expiration date of the contract comes near. When you, for example, have a subscription at an internet provider for your mobile phone, when the 5 months or the year comes to a close, that's the duration of your contract. They often try to talk you over to remain a customer with them, so they can have extra income from you being their customer. They will send agents your way to convince you to stay with them. Now, demons do a similar thing. What it comes down to is the following. Every human being is born in this world of conflict, because this world is one big conflict. And there are accusations and contentions all over the world. And generationally, these are passed down to the next generation. But evil spirits know that you, as a human being, you have the ability to seek deliverance and to be free from their hold. But the evil spirits want to keep you under their hold. So anytime you reach a phase in your life when you're about to be delivered or when you're about to have your breakthrough, evil spirits get anxious. They want to get you back in the negative so they can feed off of you. They want you in the negative. Also, why? Because there are people invested against you. There are people that use you as a dump site for the negative energy. And those people cannot remain functional if they can't dump their negative waste on you anymore. So when you get your deliverance or when you get your breakthrough, all those other people who depend upon dumping their psychic waste on you are now in trouble. They are now all going to face dysfunctions in their daily lives. It happens that when the scapegoat of a family goes no contact, sometimes relatives of the scapegoat dies within a few months or years. Or suddenly a lot of financial misfortune begin to happen in the family. So evil spirits, to keep the human population in general in the negative, they don't want you to be free from their hold. So just like an unjust landlord, when the previous tenant died, that means the contract with that guy or whoever it was over because the individual died. So you can't charge anyone anything anymore because that guy is not around anymore. So the contract is invalid. But in the parable I gave unto you, that unjust landlord still wanted that 4 months rent. So the landlord thought, you know what, there's a new family that's come here to rent. I'm going to charge them the costs that previous tenant didn't pay. I can't charge the previous tenant anymore because he's dead, but I can get it from these new people. And that's how evil spirits are. When you're about to get your breakthrough, or when you're about to be delivered, they know that their hold on you is fading away. So they then come with the aid of other people, because they're using people to do this. They then come with accusations or tension or conflicts to keep you in the negative. Okay, let me give you an example of that. Let's say you grew up in a one-parent household, or let's say a single mother household because your dad was not around. Is that your fault? No. Your parents were messed up. They were. That's their charge. Okay? But now, you have people in the community that knew your dad and couldn't stand your dad, And now they associate you with their negative opinions of your dad. So now they expect you to turn out just like your dad or even worse. They all invested negative expectations. They all invested in negative expectations towards you or concerning you. But let's say now you got, I'm going to exaggerate now, you have a €1 million contract in South Korea for business. You already signed the contract, so it's done. It's not something that's about to happen, so it can't be hindered. It happened. The evil spirits now are going to realize, hold on a minute. Jeffrey just signed a €1 million contract. He moves to South Korea. When he's there, he's going to make $1 million within 2 years, and he'll probably stay there. But then the evil spirits will realize and discuss one another, hold on a minute, but if Jeffrey remains there, these 200 people over here that we have under our hold are going to face a lot of hardship. Because until now, Jeffrey was on a psych attack often. That's why he had difficulty finding a job. That's why he had difficulty with sleep. And that's why he had all these difficulties in his life, because he was on a psych attack all the time. But because those 200 people over here in this community could dump their psychic waste on him, they could remain functional. They could remain deceived. They could remain in the negative and think they're all right. They could even go to church, sing hallelujah while being in the negative. We got to those 200 people. And we're used those 200 people to deceive others. But if this Jeffrey now operates in his breakthrough, these 200 people over here, they'll develop sickness, disease, some will die very soon. So their psychic waste will have a bad effect on them because they can't transfer it anymore onto Jeffrey. So, and when that happens, people begin to ask questions, and people are going to wake up, and then we are going to lose our hold on thousands of people. So this Jeffrey operating his breakthrough will be a big loss for us, because we will lose thousands of people that we have a hold on now. And from those thousands of people, many will turn to the Lord. And we don't want that. So this Jeffrey needs to remain in a negative cycle. Either we plan that he dies before he goes to South Korea, or either we cause some legal issue that he can't leave the country or go to South Korea, or we cause him to get into a fight that he ends up in jail due to things escalating. We need to come with some problem or with some depression right now very fast, because once he walks in his abundance, we're finished. We don't care about the human beings that are finished, okay? Because, well, we don't really care about them, but we are finished. We can't operate as gods anymore when we lose the grip on these thousands of people over here. So then Jeffrey suddenly receives many hate mails in his mailbox of people they can't stand. Then suddenly he has people on Facebook that haven't spoken to him for a while, beginning to talk to him, and they begin to rumor about things of the past. And then Jeffrey's thinking, why are you talking about this with me right now? This happened 4 years ago. I wasn't even around. Then suddenly you had this guy that claimed that Jeffrey was after his girlfriend, which wasn't true at all. This guy was just imagining things because he was kind of schizophrenic. But the demons were using this schizophrenic guy to bring contention to Jeffrey, hoping it would hinder Jeffrey's breakthrough. So Jeffrey, within a period of 2 months, he went through a hell. He eventually went to South Korea anyway, and once he was there in South Korea, it all stopped. What was going on? The demons wanted to keep on hold on Jeffrey, because if they lost Jeffrey, Jeffrey's abundance would have catastrophic consequences for them. So it were the demons, those are the people that went after Jeffrey. But there's the thing. This Jeffrey, he was not a believer. He didn't have Christ. But that didn't mean that the demons had free reign to do whatever they wanted. The demons needed to trick him in the negative. But Jeffrey Jeffrey was not really a pagan, but he was aware of the paranormal, and Jeffrey realized there's something paranormal going on here. So Jeffrey, the more circumstances turned on him, the more he pressured in going to South Korea, and he went there. He arrived, and once he arrived, the demons electrically realized there's nothing we can do anymore. So now the demons now tries to hinder news of his success from reaching that community. The demons wanted the people in that community to think that Jeffrey went off some Chinese girl and he ended up in jail or something like that. They didn't want those people to know that Jeffrey's not walking in abundance. What I'm telling you here, demons do this with unbelievers. And when you are a believer, demons get absolutely terrified of you. That's why when you walk in biblical abundance, you tend to get so much issues thrown at you. It's the demons want to keep you in the negative. But here's the thing. Your attorney, Christ himself, will not put up with this. He won't. So when you keep operating in agreement with Christ, sooner or later, those demons will have to back off, including the people to whom they work. Because there are human beings themselves that are there are human beings themselves who will turn on you and become your enemies when you walk in real abundance, okay? It's not just the demons. The demons will be glad to use such people, but there are people themselves, apart from demons, that will operate against you. Both demons as humans that operate against you eventually have to back off from you when you keep walking by faith. I'm recording this video so you can see through what's going on here. The demons want to keep you under their grip. Because it's having you under their grip that also enables them to distract others. But if they can't keep you under their grip, it means that you walking in freedom can affect others. And they're going to lose them. You get it here? But about this renewal of demonic contracts, I call the demonic contract in this video. Some call it generational curse, I call it demonic contract because when human beings collectively agree negative about someone, that's collective witchcraft. And it's the same as signing a pact on paper in which you enable evil spirits. So that's a demonic contract. Some of you have demonic contracts that are about to expire because it gets weaker with the days. And now that those demonic contracts are expiring, the demons just want to extend it longer and longer. This is a trick that bailiffs or debt collectors also do. Let's say you had a debt, you had a student loan, and 8 years ago you took that loan. And according to law, after 5 years, the debt had to be cancelled. That's the law. But you were paying off the loan back then, but it's now 8 years later. And laws also changed a bit. Now, if they haven't reminded you of any payments within 2 years, then the debt is cancelled automatically. If they leave you alone for 2 years without charging you anything of the debt, then it's over. So that those 2 years are almost near. So that's why now they send debt collectors after you, because they know that within a month, if they haven't gotten to a payment agreement with you, then the debt will expire. And a debt collector tells you to respond to this message before the 23rd of March, or else this case will expire. Now, if you don't have any knowledge of what expire means in legal sense, then you may think, oh dear, I need to respond for the 23rd or else I'm in trouble. But no. What a debt collector is showing you that if you don't respond before that date, they can't do anything with the case anymore. That's what debt collectors often do. Before the case is about to expire, they begin to send you reminders. They begin to threaten you. You have to pay now within 2 days or else. They do that because they're practical means of charging you is oversue. That's how demons do. I dare to say that bailiffs learned this from the paranormal. At least their bosses did. Just understand that you don't have to continue in a demonic contract. You're not. Simply agree with Christ, and when the resistance or the charges come, keep pushing forward. Just keep going. That's it for now. Be at peace.